I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Wait. Take it back. Take it back. Take it back. Doon 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 peak fiction. Doon 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 doon. Let's go. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been at least a month. Or at least it feels like it's been a month. I haven't seen y'all, I think, since 2024, man. Like, on a serious note. I really don't think I've seen some of y'all since 2024. So it is beautiful to see y'all here in the wonderful, wondrous year 2025, man. Hold on, let me see if we got the camera rolling here. Camera. Yes, sir. Let's turn on the lights. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so back. We are so back, man. Now we're back. Dude, when I tell y'all, look at that. Look, we're shining, baby. You see that light? Hold on. Let me put this on my Metal Gear. Yes, sir. Right there. We're going to be shining. Shining. But before we get into any of that, ladies and gentlemen, I received a notification this morning. I don't even remember what time it was because I was just so I was so shocked. I was like, holy sweet mother of flagmarts. The king has returned. My boy, my brother. Uzumaki Khan has returned to the YouTube. Did y'all see that notification? I was shook. The One Piece fan letter. I was like, okay, bro, I'm going to have to watch it, man. I'm looking forward to watching that reaction with my boy Uzumaki Khan, man. Holy sweet motherfuckers. It feels so good to have him back, knowing how much he went through last year. For the support and the community support to come in the way that it did. And now he's back and in the platform. It's just a beautiful thing to see, man. So all love to the community, obviously. For showing so much love to Khan, to the fact that he can come back to doing what he loves to do. It just made me so happy. It made me so happy to see him. So, Khan, my brother, it's so good to have you back, man. It's so good to have you back, dude. I was shook. I was shook when I saw it. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been too many years. Yo, Silvershot, it legit feels like it's been a while. My bad for the jump scare. You feel me, Quag, too? That's how long it's been. I feel like y'all have seen Smoker before y'all saw me. That's how long it's been. You know what I'm saying? And last time we saw Smoker, before the last time we saw Smoker, was maybe even before the YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a minute, man. But yeah, man, exciting stuff. Exciting stuff on the horizon. By the way, I need to put this thing. They keep telling me to put this thingy over here. So we're going to try this out today. We're going to do the little super chat goal thing today for the Golazo. Because last stream, this really caught me off guard. The fact that they gave us this. So let's actually try this out today. Let's do a goal of 10 super... Because they're not going to leave me alone until I do this. 10 super chats. We'll go $2 or higher. We'll set a timer for the whole stream. We normally go for like 2 hours. So I'll put 2 hours. Share how we'll celebrate. Let's do a top 10 One Piece characters. Why not? We'll celebrate by doing our top 10 favorite One Piece characters. There we go. Now YouTube will be happy. I'll be happy. I get an opportunity to talk about my favorite One Piece characters. So, let's do it. Are you happy now, Google? Are you happy? We're doing that. So, 0 out of 10. We'll do our top 10 favorite One Piece characters stream somewhere down the line. So, we'll do that. We'll do that whenever the time comes. So let me go back in. Let me go in there. Anyways, I saw somebody talk about the Switch 2 there. The Switch 2 not only looks dope, it's everything that I wanted, because I feel like the Switch is already such a good console in and of itself. But I feel like the thing that had me even more excited than the Switch 2 was seeing Mario Kart 9, bro. Because if y'all know me and y'all know how much I love Mario Kart, I was like, that was my thing, man. Where I was like, let's go. Let's go, man. And so, I am extremely excited for Mario Kart 9, number 1. And then the Switch 2, number 2. You know what I'm saying? The Switch 2 is going to be what's going to give me Mario Kart 9. And so I obviously really, really can't wait for that. That's going to be exciting stuff. By the way, is the audio good? I don't even think I asked. I might be talking to myself here. I never even checked. Never checked my phone. Is my audio good? So, bro, what's good? Yo, instant messenger saw in the chat? Holy flagnards. Yeah, man, seriously, Ocean Plan. I feel the same. I feel the same. Yeah, let me know if the audio output. Thank you, Rugger. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Action Samurai Jiro. Appreciate you. Audio a bit low again? All right, hold on. Let's mess around with this again. Oh no, it was up here. I just remembered. I gotta fix it up here. Or down here. La-da-deem, la-da-doom, la-da-dum. How does that sound? Mist! What is good, yo? What is good? Sound. Internal speakers output. Input. The Yeti stereo microphone. Yeah, and it went all the way back down to here. So now if we raise it up a little bit, yeah, I'll be peaking. So I'll put it like right here. I feel like right here is good. Is right here good, y'all? If I'm gonna put it back right here. Is right here good? To the point to where, if I do this, is it breaking y'all's ears? Is it breaking y'all's ears if I do that? Let me know, because I'll bring it back down. It's loud. All right, hold on. Too loud? Okay. Perfect. Now it's good? Superman, I've been good, bro. I've been good. Okay, let me pull it down. Okay. Alright, I pulled it down. I think it should be better now. It should be better now. I apologize. If I did my windows my windows are breaking, it's crazy. Alright, that's good. Okay, alright, so now we'll be alright. Now we'll be alright. Just in case, let me hear myself. But yeah, Superman, we've been good. Let me actually tell you all about this, about what we've been doing. But before we do any of that, and before we get into the chapter, I have to pull on Treasure Cruise. Here, live on stream. Recon! What is good, Recon? Audio's good? Okay. Alright, well, let me pull up Treasure Cruise real quick. So that we can do a pull here live, you know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to get Shanks. I'm trying to get the new Luffy, so hold on, let me hear myself real quick. Hey, I sound pretty good, bro. Do I normally sound that good? I should become a recording artist, man. Why don't I make music? Somebody get some instrumentals. I'll start doing the drums of liberation. Where is last one? Okay, here we go, y'all. We're about to pull here. No. So Josh Pointer. Oh man, I should have specified. You know, let me remove the goal real quick, and so I can specify it again. All right, let's remove the goal. Okay, so Josh Pointer, the YouTube wants me to do like a super chat goal system, to where let's just say if we get like 10 super chats that we celebrate by doing something, and they keep doing the thing. And since they gave this to us last week, I want to try it out. So the way that we'll celebrate is with a top 10 favorite One Piece characters stream. And it's something I've been wanting to do anyway. But just like as an example. Holy flagnards. No! Y'all super chatted after! No! Bro, y'all had to wait like just 5 seconds more. That way, Google could have been like, yes, it's coming in. We are doing our thing. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But on a serious note, let's see. Let's see. Let me let me look at the supers. But now we understand the concept. You know what I'm saying? Now we understand the concept. Before I go into the super, I see my boy Speak there. Let me pull on Treasure Cruise real quick. Let's do the Treasure Cruise pull. All right. Let's see. So Akbar J, the way that it works, at least for this system, is that, let's just say, okay, so look, hold on, did that just add to the thingy? Take 2. Let's see. It never popped up. Speak, I don't get it. I don't understand this. I apologize for making y'all spend money, bro. What is going on? Oh, maybe it'll count everything after, because do y'all see 0 out of 10? Who cares? Who cares? Speak, I appreciate you once again. Whenever I see you in real life, I'll have to repay you those $2. I don't know what the heck's going on anymore. And it still says 0 out of 10. Who cares? Okay. So let's go. Let's try to pull on this thing, brother. We're going for Gear 5 Luffy. Where's my thingy at, actually? All right, here we go. We're going for Gear 5 Luffy. Oh, hold on, I have a free pull first. Wait a minute. We got a free pull first, boys. All right. We got it? All right. No gears. This is why Bounty Rush has more sales than Treasure Cruise. And I hope they're listening to me. Look, Jack! What are we doing here, brother? Y'all know how much I love Kaido. Jack! What are we doing? Sentomaru, I rock with you. Where's Gear 5, bro? The legend, but come on. Reiju, brother. That's a new unit. We love Wano, but come on. This is crazy, man. Mr. Prince, my guy. Hold on. No reds. Okay. One more time. All right, here we go. Now, I promise y'all, this is my last pull. Iron's Dream. Here we go, man. Oh, snap. Gear 2? Gear 4? Are we cooking? 1 red. 2 reds. Alright, hold on. We gotta take the glasses off for this. Ooh, look at that card art! Dude, that is... I don't have this card. Oh, dude, that card art is so sick. Look at that. Look at that! Come on, dude, that is sick! It's a super type? Oh, come on, man. That is nasty. That's actually nasty. Oh, here we go. I got Lilith! Not too bad! Oh, I already had the character, I guess. Not me? That card art is nice, too. Do I have that card? Burgess, I already have him. Final red. Come on. Gear 5. Teach, you know I rock with you, but where's Gear 4? Red? Whoa, that card art goes kind of hard. Bro, that card art goes hard. Look at that. No Gear 5. That's the important part. That's the important part. Who cares? Alright. Let's go look at... Whoa! Ali G came up in there like swimwear. So now we got a 1 out of 10. What? Why do we have a 1 out of 10 now? I don't know what's going on, man. You guys have to click on the icon, then it will count. Thank you, Winston Messer-sama. I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. Anyways, Ali G comes in. New year, same Gorosei, and gifts 20 memberships to the channel, which means there are 107 people in here. 1/5 of the individuals that are here was just given a membership by my boy Ali G. Thank you so much, Ali G, for being as generous in 2025 as you were in 2024. Which means if you are this generous, then Oda's gotta be that generous. Because we all know One Piece Treasure Cruise isn't that generous, and that's why Bounty Rush continues to kill it. I don't even have Bounty Rush installed. But Treasure Cruise just keeps pulling my leg so much. They deserve it. They deserve it. It's ridiculous, man. Who gives me Jack? Jack. Anyways, let's go look at some of these some of these supers here. I appreciate you so much, Ali G. Thank you. You know I got nothing but love for you. Josh Pointer comes in with a 5 and says, it feels like it's been forever since we had a One Piece chapter. We are back for the One Piece greatness and the Switch 2. I hope we do get a new One Piece game that'll run on the Switch 2, man. Like the last one we got was Odyssey. Really enjoyed that one. Still need to finish it. And we got a bunch of them on the Switch, right? We got Unlimited World Red Deluxe. We got, I think Jump Force even ran on the Switch. Pyro Warriors 3 and 4 ran on the Switch. So we have quite a few games on the Switch. So hopefully the Switch 2 will give us something good. Also, Stabs might appear in the chapter. Don't get me going. Don't get me going, man. We still have a couple super chats to go. Don't get me going. Don't get me going before peak continues. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me going, Josh Pointer. Because, man, I need to see Stabs, dude. I need to see Stabs and all. You know, after reading that chapter, after reading 1135, and getting like a really good look at both Stabs and the Chain Chick, it really gave me, the Chain Chick at least, gave me like hardcore, well, if anybody's a Hitman Reborn fan that's an anime only, I don't know if this is considered a spoiler, but in the manga, there's this thing called the Vendici? They're like these bandaged individuals that have like chains and stuff. That's what they were called, right? The Vendici, I think. In Hitman Reborn, and she just reminds me of with like the chain ability of that. I kept thinking about Takatsugi in the stream, but whenever I was thinking about the chapter in the past like 3 weeks, I was like, yo, it really reminded me of Reborn. With con clip about you, I just linked. A con clip? Yo, Sloth Guy, I'm sorry for that. Yeah, don't I already finished with the spoiler. There was a con clip? Hold on, bro. We might have to pull this up on the thing. Where did you link it? Where did you link it, Rugger? On Twitter? Let me see. Where did you link it, Rugger? Let me know. Let me know while I look through some of these supers. In this chat? Oh, you linked it in the chat. Let's take a look. Con Cliff Watch, I just linked. Let me see. I'm looking at the One Piece Treasure Cruise. Listen, man, I love the game. They make me mad. Let me see. Relink it, if you don't mind, Rugger. Can you relink it? I don't see it here. Let me see. Yeah, I I do not... Yo, missed, bro. Daybreak 2 incoming, man. February 14th. 14th, right? February 14th? I pretty much work for these guys, and I don't even know what day it comes out. Let me see. I'm a fraudulent Trails fan. February... Trails through Daybreak... Yo, missed. Last time we saw each other, they announced that the Yeast versus Trails fighting game is coming out in America. I was like, holy flagnards, dude. This is awesome. February 14th, yeah, Valentine's Day. But yeah, we're getting the Yeast vs. Trails game, man. That's going to be dope. Yeah, send it on Discord. Send on Discord. All right, let's go through the supers. While you send it to me on Discord, I'll go through the supers, and then we'll get into the chapter. Super Scorpio 12 comes in with a 10 and says 2025, more Elbaf, more peak. Let's do a quick poll now that you say that. Does Elbaf end in 2025? I'll go back to that and here in a second. 2025, more Elbaf, more peak. The community wants to see you game, coach. Super Scorpio, we're actually going to get on that topic here in a second. It's crazy that you bring that up because that's actually one of the reasons why I have been on hiatus here in the beginning of the year. We are getting ready for that. Very, very ready for that. But Super Scorpio, appreciate you so much for that. Keep an eye out here in a couple seconds, or maybe more than a couple seconds. But before we do the intro, I'll talk about the plans here. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you. No is at 94%. 6% is at yes. So we know where the we know where the community lies there. So yeah, 2025 definitely going to be the year of Elbaf, and super excited for that greatness. Absolutely. But yeah, Super Scorpio, trust me, man. Trust me. Well, I want to show you guys the gaming greatness as much as I want to do it. And it was only about time, and now that's about to change. But Super Scorpio, thank you so much for the 10. Appreciate you. Cannot wait to see what this week's chapter has in store, and the Elbaf greatness, baby. Speak, my brethren. He comes in and says, with a 10. This one is for Ahmad. For the Ahmad comeback Hattie, bro. Listen, it's been a beautiful last, week. I mean, my heart, it hasn't been good for my heart. It has not been good for my heart because every game feels like I just want to throw myself out the window. But my God, man, yo. The Hattie, bro, I was like, let's go. If that wouldn't have happened, I promise y'all, bro, I was ready to come in here with like a disaster class. But I'm happy now, you know what I'm saying? We're happy. It was still a disaster class. It was a horrible game. But my guy showed out. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful. Anyways, the return of Oda Sensei, and then we see Speak's top 10 characters here, which is number 1, the King, number 2, Mr. Prince, number 3, is it Shanks or is it Stabs? We don't know. Number 4, the greatest father. Well, Whitebeard or Kuma, both goated fathers. I'm not going to put them up against each other, but they're both goated fathers. Whitebeard, number 4. My boy, Roronoa, the world's greatest swordsman. Incoming. 5, Zoro. Number 7, the other greatest father, Kuma. Number 8, my beloved Elbaf, warrior of the sea, Usopp. Number 9, my beloved Yonko, Buggy. And number 10, Mr. Raw is Law. That's a great list, bro. That's a great list, man. Actually, you're missing number 6. Let me see if you wrote it up here. Oh, number 6 is Garp. Garp. I see it, Speak. I got you, baby. I got you. I got you, dude. I appreciate you. So yeah, number 6, Garp. That's a great list, Speak. Fantastic list for so many great characters on there, and I can tell you that quite a few of those resonate with me on a very, very deep level. So I really do appreciate you sharing your top 10 list, man. Thank you so much for that, brother. Pluto! Plutonian Moon comes to membership for 22 months. Has finally caught a stream peak incoming. It's been a while, Pluto, bro. It's good to see you, brother. It really is, man. I miss reading Hunter x Hunter, bro. I still got to read the last 2 chapters. I'm a fraud. Considering how much fun I was having reading those chapters and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Greatness that was happening, I got to read Hunter x Hunter as soon as possible, man. As soon as possible. We're only missing 2 chapters. And I need to read them. I need to read them so bad. Thank you, Pluto, for stopping by. Speak then comes in with a 2 and says, LMAO, take 2. Once again, when we meet in real life, I'll repay you those $2. And Ali G, of course, came with the 20 gifted memberships. All love for you. Ali G, thank you so much for that. Because the Godosei, man, listen, like that one chapter, Starfall, the stars continue to fall as you continue to deliver these on a regular basis, man. You're insane. You're absolutely insane. Alejandro Solis comes in with a 2 and says, first super for the coach. Appreciate you, Alejandro Solis. Thank you so much for that. And that means the world. Speak 1, 2, 3, then comes in with a 2 and says, okay, and now, and then another 2 and says, and another. So adding on to the total, which by the way, we're at 6 already out of 10 for that top 10 favorite One Piece character stream, which I y'all have no idea. I'm more excited for that than y'all. I can assure you that. And then Derek of Rivia comes with a 5 and says, yo, King, can we get your thoughts on Akane Banashi? Derek of Rivia says, can we get your thoughts on Akane Banashi before the next arc starts? So I'm not going to read the next part because I don't want to spoil anyone, Derek of Rivia. But what I will say is this, all right? The most recent chapter of both Akane Banashi and Aoashi were so incredibly compelling and left me on such a massive cliffhanger that if you were to put me into a room, a secluded room, and I could only read Aoashi, Akane Banashi, or One Piece, I genuinely don't know which one of the 3 I would read. And then I would have to toss away the other 2. I wouldn't be able to make that decision. Because obviously my love for one is why I'm still here today doing YouTube. My love for another, nearly, I almost cracked for Akane Banashi, man. I was this close. I was like, dude, I can't take it. But we're going to wait until Sunday, man. We're going to wait until Sunday to read that chapter. And Aoashi, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Series is about to end. We're in final saga Aoashi, and it's crazy. It's insane. But Akane Banashi is right now, not only is it my favorite jump manga, but besides One Piece, obviously. As a matter of fact, I did a stream, or a video with Commodore Laz talking about 2024 in retrospect. We went through our top 10 favorite manga of the year. And Akane Banashi was my number 1 for last year, for a lot of very personal reasons. But that's just how good the series has been, and the most recent arc has been its very best. Both from an in-story standpoint and from an inspirational standpoint. And the most recent chapter was downright peak, dog. I mean, it made me feel something I haven't felt since, like, for Haikyuu fans out there, since Haikyuu chapter 300 and whatever that was, the big chapter, before it went into the you-know-what, just in case there's anime-onlys out there. It felt like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, for the Hajime no Ippo fans, I felt like what was that, chapter 1207, 1208, the craziness that was happening. Bro, I'm telling y'all, like, that chapter, I was like, hold up, we're about to hit a new era. We're about to hit a new generation. You know what I'm saying? So, it hit different, man, and I can't wait for this chapter. It's been in such a great place, but just what a fantastic manga, and without question, I will be there the moment that chapter drops on Sunday. I can't wait, man. I cannot flip it wait. Thank you, Derek Rivia, for giving me the opportunity to be able to talk about that, because man, oh man, dude, Akane Banashi is peak fiction. I cannot wait for this next arc. Oh no, my stream refreshed. It can't handle the Akane Banashi greatness. And then that's followed by KK. Yo, I love your profile picture, KK. 20th Century Boys. Last year I reread I read for the first time Happy and Asadora from Urasawa for the very first time last year. Enjoyed both of them a lot. And then I reread Billy Bat, which is an all-time favorite of mine. And I was planning... Oh, and I reread Pluto as well. And I was planning on doing a reread of 20th Century Boys and Monster, because obviously those were the first 2 I read from Urasawa. But I haven't gotten a chance to reread those yet. So this year, I can't wait to reread 20th Century Boys. And it's going to be crazy because I read 20th Century Boys and Steel Ball Run like 11 years ago, back to back. And now this year, Steel Ball Run's getting its manga finally released in English. So that's going to be cool to reread those back to back. It's both very special series to me. But anyways, you come in with a 2 and say, "Are you caught up to Awashi, Coach? It's ending soon. I'm completely caught up, and I can't wait for the next chapter." Y'all, bro, KK, listen. When that chapter drops, I am there. I am there. This match, dude, is nuts. It is nuts. And where we're at right now feels like we're cooking some of the best stuff in this series, man. I can't wait. Like, as y'all know how I am, and I love the hype stuff, and the hype stuff is on another level right now. It's on another level. So I appreciate you, KK, so much. I really, really can't wait for the next chapter, Awashi. It feels like we haven't had one in like 2 weeks, but I can't wait for it. Can't wait for it, man. Dude, especially the last two. The last 2 chapters legit felt like cinema, man. They felt super. By the way, speaking of cinema, rest in peace, man. David Lynch, bro. Yo, that really, really hit. A huge inspiration as a creative for just so many different things. The world will not be the same without his incredible vision, man. What a visionary. Gave us so many incredible things that people generations beyond ours will be looking back on the same way that we look back on like the Michelangelos and the Da Vinci's and stuff. Like when it comes to movies, when it comes to television, he is that. And so it's just it doesn't even feel real. It doesn't even feel real, man. Instant Messenger Samba then comes in with a 2 and says, "Yo King, what is your opinion on the Kaiji manga?" So I have not read the Kaiji manga. I watched the anime, the Madhouse adaptation. I love Kaiji, bro. One of my favorite things in anything, which is why I love Yu-Gi-Oh so much, is like the gamification of like certain rules and elements when they're put into stories. That's why I love Yu-Gi-Oh. That's why I love Hunter x Hunter. Like when you're able to gamify something, it's so cool to me. So that's why Greed Island or even like the core structure of Hunter x Hunter is very gamey, or like the Morena stuff. But with Kaiji, it was like taking that and adding the element of like stakes in regards to the gamble at hand. And I was like, bro, this stuff is so dope. And like you really feel each moment. That was my favorite thing about Kaiji when I was going through it, especially how early that was in my anime journey. I had never experienced anything like that before. I was like, bro, this is crazy. Like every single episode had me sweating. I was fearing for my dog's life. It was I love the Kaiji anime. I have to read the manga though, because I have not read the manga, but I love the Kaiji anime. Yeah, definitely some good stuff. Madhouse doesn't miss. Thank you, Mr. Mesher Sama. And then Derek Rivia comes in with a 2 and says, "Thanks. I will leave my top 10 favorites in the comments." Thank you, Derek. Looking forward to see that top 10, Derek Rivia. Absolutely. Twin Peaks was groundbreaking. Blew my mind when I watched it. You know, we lost a visionary, Can't Fly Man. We truly did. It's like we wouldn't have so many things. We wouldn't have. I mean, God, I dare say, Shin Megami Tensei. Certain things with like Alan Wake for sure doesn't exist without. Like there's just so many things that are integral in our, or at least in my love for like video games and anime and manga that just would not be the same without him. Man, it's just what a visionary. Your tweet is how I found out about David Lynch passing. I still can't even process it. Yeah, Quag 2 is it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I still can process it myself. Okay. So. Twitch.tv. Hold on, man. Can I pull this up? Alright, so we're gonna live react to this comment here from Uzumaki Khan. Can I pull this up? Yo, shout out to Twitch, man. They got like a TikTok system now. Look at this. This thing's what? I've never seen this before. Why does it look like this? Yo, that's so cool. Anyways.
You know, BBO. Like, that one, I've already mentioned this before somewhere. There's one person down the line forever want to make a video with, we'll beat him. 100%. I love Recon, man. Yo, scientist,
Dude.
you know what's up?
I got
Bankai.
love for that man too, bro. Y'all have no idea. Yeah, we go way back. We go way back. Flipping like 10 plus years back. It's insane, man. Down the line, I promise y'all, and I promise Khan, we are gonna make that collaboration happen, man. We're gonna make that collaboration happen. I promise. We're gonna make that collab happen, and we're gonna be talking about everything from One Piece to the Big Three to flipping Final Fantasy. I gotta still fight him in Street Fighter. A lot of people don't know this. There's actually lore to me and Uzumaki Khan. When Parasite was going on live, Street Fighter V had just recently been released. And Uzumaki Khan and I were planning on doing a Cammy versus Ryu, Street Fighter V, me versus him, because I'm a Cammy main, he's a Ryu main. And we were going to have that on stream, and it just did not work out. It was going to be such a fun thing. So hopefully we can do that in the future, now with Street Fighter 6. Still, Cammy versus Ryu, I'm assuming. So at some point, we definitely have to play some Street Fighter. But yeah, Khan, man, I got nothing but love for you, bro. And thank you for sending me that rug. I appreciate you, brother. That's beautiful. That's super, super beautiful. Oh, we hit the goal! We hit the goal, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we already started reading the chapter. And we already hit the goal, man. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We hit the goal. We have hit the 10 out of 10, which is what I'm assuming this chapter is about to be. 10 out of 10. And now, let me read these 3 supers, and then we'll talk about this goal that was just hit. Number 1, Frodo Baggage comes in and says, "Go raw fire." Can't wait for Frodo Baggage. I'm assuming that is for this week's chapter. Hold on. Okay. Is that House of Dragon Greatness I see in the profile picture? I can't tell from here, man. My eyes are so bad. But listen, got nothing but love for the House of Dragon Greatness. As a matter of fact, I think Damon is coming to Orlando next month. The actor for Daemon Targaryen, I believe he's coming to Orlando next month. It'd be super cool to meet him. My boy Daemon Targaryen. Anyways, thank you, Frodo Baggage, for the Goat Raw Fire Peak. Marco Caudillo comes in with a 5, says, "Coach, prediction on how Mihawk got his big black blade." Why did you say it like that? Prediction on how Mihawk got his big black blade, the Yoru, and how will Zoro get his black blade? Prediction for Sanji's next power-up. Okay, so let's break this down. Yoru. Oh, so first and foremost, Yoru, how Zoro will get his black blade, and Sanji's next power-up. So, Yoru, I'm assuming... That's a great... I've never thought about how Mihawk got Yoru. You know something? That's probably going to be... as funny as this sounds. That's probably going to end up being an SBS answer somewhere down the line. Or it's going to end up being something that we find out during the Mihawk-Zoro fight. So, I think... we might not see how Mihawk got his black blade until Zoro gets his black blade. I'm going to assume we see Zoro get his black blade first. And then when we see how he got it, we can speculate on how Mihawk got his. And then we see the backstory of how Mihawk got Yoru and the big black blade. And then we put it up in like swimwear. That's my assumption. That is my assumption. So... but as far as how he got Yoru, I'm not sure, Marco. I'm not sure. I'm going to assume, like I said, it was probably off on his journeys when he was off hunting Marines. If Yoru belonged to a Marine, or to the previous World's Strongest Swordsman, that'd be pretty cool too. But I guess we'll have to find out and see. And then prediction for Sanji's next power-up? The man's broken as is. You know what I mean? God, he has health regen right now. He's got the exoskeleton thing going on. He's got Ifrit Jambe. I don't see Sanji getting Conquerors. So since I don't see him getting Conquerors, he might get like really good observation hockey is his next power-up. Potentially. Potentially, Marco. Potentially. I'll have to think about that. Because, man, Sanji's already broken as is. Like, he has... bro, the man has health regen, super speed, can skywalk, and he has it for Jambi now. So it's like, man, he just needs to see things faster, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that, Marco. Maybe PHX comes in with a 10 and says, trying to get a top 10 stream. My number 1 is Garp Chujo. Fantastic number 10. Or fantastic number 1. Maybe so. Maybe PHX, aka maybe Phoenix. If your number 1 is Garp and Speak's number 6 is Garp, that means that Garp is without question a legend. And coming off of the Egghead greatness, being one of the most important characters in the series right now, I know y'all must be eating. Y'all have to be eating. I appreciate you so much, maybe PHX. That's a great character to have, man, as a favorite. Garp is such a conflicted, compelling character. Okay, let's go ahead and read the things here. Instant Messenger Sama that comes in on the 20th says, Kaiji is still ongoing. It's still ongoing. What? Please give it a read if you find the time. The anime only captured 2 parts out of 6. 2 parts out of 6? I thought it was over. Oh, man, we'll be up in, like, swimwear. I did not know. Oh, that's dope. Dude, that is so dope, man. Yo. We will be there. We will be there in Smash Sama. I'm gonna have to rewatch the anime, or maybe just go through the manga, like that section in the manga for the first time. But that's really cool. That's really cool in Semester Sama. I'm gonna have to read some Kaiji, man. Are you kidding me? I love a Kaiji. What? I have 4 parts of Kaiji to read? That's crazy. And then Michael Mickles comes in with membership for 36 months. Dude, we're almost an hour in. Oh my god, man. I apologize, y'all. We haven't got to the chapter yet. Oh my god. Michael Mickles comes in membership for 36 months and says, The fakes King Recon fan finally checking if the... You're not the fake Recon fan, Michael Mickles. I definitely can assure you that. Finally checking in to say I'm unfortunately going to miss another live. I hope everything's been well for you. A late Happy New Year's. Have a fun night. I'll catch the VOD. Michael Mickles, thank you so much for stopping by, bro. And membership for 36 months. 3 flipping years, y'all. 3 years. And he's saying he's a fake Recon fan. 36 months, bro. 3 years? Come on, man. Michael Mickles, you are not a fake fan, bro. I am the fake fan. Oh, dude. Appreciate you so much for stopping by, man. Regardless, Michael, it is time for us to get in the chapter. And we have hit the goal. 10 out of 10. As I'm assuming this chapter is about to be. Let me go ahead and put up the poll for... Let me end this poll and start up the new poll. Read the title. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to read our very first installment of 2025. Now, let me tell y'all something, man. In the midst of what's about to be a really fun weekend, we're going to be starting off here tonight with something, and I can't wait to see what Oda's got in store for us. Because, thanks to the goal, we will be doing a top 10 favorite One Piece character stream very, very soon. Very, very soon. But before we get into that, there is another order of business. As Super Scorpio said earlier, y'all want the games content. I want to do the games content. And so, as I promised, at the end of last year, when January 17th rolled around, there would be a certain video game that is dropping. And I'm going to, at the very least, play the first few hours with y'all here on the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, starting off tomorrow night, we have Dynasty Warriors. That live kingdom greatness. is gonna be coming to either the Twitch channel or the YouTube channel, and I cannot wait to play that Dynasty Warriors greatness. I already have it installed. I have not touched it yet, and I cannot wait to play the opening hours of this game and what already feels like a very Kingdom-esque experience. It's gonna be so much fun, man. Y'all have no idea how excited I am to play Dynasty Warriors, bro. It's gonna... I can't wait. I cannot wait, man. And it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. I promised something else. I promised when Dynasty Warriors drops, when the Dynasty Warriors greatness comes out, there's something else I need to do because it reminds me of Dynasty Warriors. And anytime I see anything Dynasty Warriors related, especially this one, it makes me think of something else. Y'all have been waiting, and I have been waiting. Sunday night, we're back. We're back, boys! Because on Sunday night, here on YouTube Live, we will be reading Hara Yasuhisa's Kingdom for the first time in quite some time. I can't wait. It's been a minute. But man, oh man, we're going to have Dynasty Warriors on Saturday and Kingdom on Sunday, man. It's going to be a good time. Then we'll figure everything out after that and see how it goes. But as I promised, I told y'all at the end of last year, Dynasty Warriors drops. We're going to read some Kingdom. I don't care what I have to do. So Sunday night, whether we got to do this at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. like back in the day, I will be here for Kingdom Greatness. And we'll be here tomorrow night for Dynasty Warriors. I can't wait for that. Now, that's for tomorrow. Today, 1 hour into the stream, 59 minutes into the stream, we're here for what we all came for. We are here for the latest installment. The very first installment in 2025. We're getting a remake this year. The live action, hopefully, Season 2 will come out this year, bringing in a whole new wave of fans. And with live action Season 2, I'm predicting Fortnite will also be including our beloved Straw Hats. Maybe even a new game. Maybe Pirate Warriors, aka Treasure Cruise, will stop selling me. Maybe I will get into the One Piece trading card game, and that will give me better rates than Treasure Cruise. I don't know. All I know is the arts look fire. I logged on Twitter like a week ago, and they showed these new One Piece Treasure Cruise art, and I was like, bro, I gotta play this game. They showed Arlong, they showed Nami, they showed Luffy. I was like, yo, this looks clean. Where have I been? I gotta play this trading card game, dog. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Y'all know me. As a matter of fact, I play Toon cards. So I'm all in. My deck's name is literally called Luffy Toons because of Gear 5. I've been running Toons for years. So all I gotta do is transfer the mindset from Yu-Gi-Oh to the trading card game, and we're catching dubs. They call me Maximilian Recon, man. I ain't talking about Maximilian Dude. I'm talking about Pegasus. Not Saint Seiya. But Yugi Boy Pegasus. Toon Kingdom Pegasus. Relinquished Pegasus. Alright? And I can't wait. One of these days, I'm going to play a trading card game. We're going to do it. Might even do it live. But before that happens, we are here today to read the latest installment in Elbaf. The Viking era. Vinland Saga is about to end, and as it ends, the torch from Thorfinn to Usopp will be carried into this new era, the era of warriors, the era of the bravest, the era of those who will declare and look up into the sky that they are one, they are the only, they're a part of the master class and the greatness known as one. Let's go, y'all. It's time, man. Derek Rivera comes in with a 2 and says, let's go. Gotta get to the 740s of Kingdom. Where am I? 718? I think I was. Camera's a bit blurry. My apologies. Thank you for letting me know, Tatsuyuki Sol. Are we better now? Instant Message almost out here trying to make me look blurry, man. What was going on? I think we should be good now. I think Shanks or Gear 5 Luffy would be coach leader in One Piece Treasure Cruise. I'm not in Treasure Cruise, the TCG? Yeah, for real. I mean, I need to see what their cards look like. I saw a Yamato leader. I was like, yo, that looks cool too. So yeah, well, more likely be Gear 5. Anyways, let's grab the thing. We can read the title. Yes. All right. It's time. Thank you, by the way, for being patient with me. I know that the intro there was longer than usual, but y'all were cooking, man. We had to cook, you know what I'm saying? And plus, I think it's because I started the stream later than usual. I got in rather than the normal, 6, 8, 10 minute mark. We started 15 minutes after I pressed the start button, so. Alright, let's see. Dude, my laptop, I don't think I've turned this thing on since the last one. By the way, Derek Rivia, thank you so much for the super. I don't remember if I thanked you, but thank you so much. Coach, are you streaming the Switch 2 Direct when it airs? If I'm home, I'll be here. If I am home, we will be there streaming the Nintendo Direct, no question. Especially because that Nintendo Direct's probably going to show, hopefully, Trails in the Sky the first. That would be the biggest exposure we could ever ask for. Or Final Fantasy VII Remake running on Switch, which is... How crazy would that be? Someone who lived through the PS1 N64 era. I used to argue with people on the playground. Ocarina of Time versus flippin' Final Fantasy VII, so... For that to launch with a Switch 2 would be the craziest thing on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? That would be such a crazy turn of events. Why is my laptop tripping, bro? This thing's not working. Dude, my laptop's not working. We haven't even started the chapter and this thing's already getting destroyed by Aki. Dude. Alright, finally. I think something's loading. Alright, where is Ichiro Oda's masterpiece? JoJo. Bro, I gotta catch back up to JoJo, man. There it is. One Piece 1136. Okay. Alright, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. First chapter of the year, boys. One Piece chapter 1136. The country that awaits the sun. The country that awaits the sun is peak fiction, bro. The country that awaits the sun. Dog, how beautiful is that? One Piece chapter 1136. The country that awaits the sun. Yo, that title means something to me, man. Is that Who's Who? Yeah, Who's Who in the cut? Hold'em being brought in by Yamato and Speed? One Child Yamato. By the way, speaking of speed, crazy stuff. My boy Speed is going to be able to stream all of the One Piece episodes. I was like, bro, you know how cool that is? As someone who obviously, y'all know how the YouTube copyright system has been for us YouTubers for the last, like, 10 to 12 to however long that this community's been around here on the YouTube platform. For them to finally greenlight someone being able to stream the One Piece episodes, it was like, number one, an about time moment. But number two, because it's him, because it's Speed, I was like, yes, what a perfect combo. You know, like, that's so cool, dude. Couldn't be happier. And I genuinely do hope that stream brings multiple eyes that otherwise never would have seen One Piece into becoming fans of the property, man. It's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait I can't wait for that, because I'm looking forward to those who have never seen One Piece before in their lives. They click on while Speed is streaming, and whether he's on episode 1 or in the middle of Marineford or whatever, and they get their first exposure to the series, it'll at the very least give so many people the opportunity to see what it is that we all love so much, right? It's gonna give it that exposure, and I just think that is so awesome, and that is so awesome, man. And he's been such a great ambassador for this series as well that I'm genuinely happy for him. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the community, and what a great business move. Are we even sure that was legit? Oh God. Now you got me questioning. I thought it was legit. Yo, you're right. I should have checked my sources, man. I have a problem doing that. You know what I'm saying? I have a problem doing that. Thank you for asking me that, Miguel. I thought it was true. You know what I'm saying? And I never checked my sources, so I'm hoping that it's true. I'm hoping it's true. Regardless, One Child Yamato and the Holy Nari Shrine, Pilgrimage Volume 22, a mysterious hidden base in Udon. And the Oda note says, I went to Miyako-jima over New Year's and chilled out with some Karage Chanpuru and non-alcoholic beer. Non-alcoholic beer. Living it up like it's already summer. My boy Oda's like, yo, it's New Year's. I just turned however old Oda just turned. And he was like, yo, we're going in no matter what. We'll be like summer, you know what I'm saying? We will be there no matter what. Chanpuru. I wonder what that is. Is it shampoo? Chanpuru. And no, that doesn't make any sense. And non-alcoholic beer. Shout out Oda. Shout out to my dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just started. We're up in like swimwear. So we see the king here. This moose reminds me of dinosaur meat. This man Luffy must have eaten so much dinosaur meat back in whenever he was on both on Ruskaina and on back in Windmill Village. Whenever he was a kid, I'm assuming, but probably more so in Ruskaina. It's so tasty. Even the meat is huge. That's a crazy way to start the chapter. It's we continue. They're quite tricky to catch, as ferocious as they are delicious. Oh yeah, the dude. What's his name again, chat? The old guy. What's the old guy's name? What's the old guy's name again? I'm being a fraudulent fan. I'm being a fraudulent fan. Bro, what's the name? What's the old dude's name? They're quite tricky to catch, as ferocious as they are delicious. As ferocious as they are delicious. It's Matt Jarl, thank you. The Jarl. The Elder Jarl. The Elder Jarl here with the sword that's sticking through his head. No task is too great if it's for one savior. What a beautiful line. And we get this great panel of Luffy being held up by the Jarl. He's with the tasty dinosaur meat. And on the bottom we see a chef. We see some more of the individuals here from Elbaf. And then of course, I should appreciate it, Hajrudin and Stanson. Glad you like it. And we even have the main character of Buffy. It's Buffy. We've got Buffy here doing the Nika pose on the bottom, which means something to me. You know what I'm saying? Straight up just doing the Nika pose in the middle of the thing. In the middle of the panel. Just, yeah. We love it, dude. We love it. Buffy! Already living up. It's rare for humans to make it all the way up to the Sun Realm. I love this panel of Luffy. Most confuse the underworld for Elbaf proper and flee before they find their way up here. Most confuse the underworld for Elbaf proper. That's fascinating. So they get so scared off by the underworld of Elbaf, they don't even get the opportunity to arrive in the actual place where the villagers are. That is fascinating. It's kind of like if the underworld itself serves as a deterrent for Elbaf, right? Even though it may not be a something that they, or at least that the Jarl wanted to put into place, but it just so happened to be that way, where individuals see the freezing environment like, yo, we're not tackling this, we're out of here, and how crazy probably like the monsters and stuff are down there, that he was like, no, we're good. And people just get out and flee before they even get an opportunity to see any of the giants. Listen up. The mighty oars. Oars! Were we cooking last stream? Listen up. The mighty oars was a warrior legendary even to you giants. Whoa! Listen up. The mighty oars was a warrior legendary even to you giants. He'd tower over any of you 3 times over, and guess who finally finished him? That's right. It was me. That's the Usopp I love, man. That's the Usopp I love. Woo! Way to go, Captain Usopp. Way to go. Yo, we're getting some oars content. Wow, your skin really is blue. So I'm assuming that they've never seen anyone that has a not just a blue skin color. Maybe they haven't seen anyone like whether it be a fishman or someone from the sea at all, which is a very, very interesting thing. If they have never seen anyone from below the sea, from under the sea, I wonder what that implies. You should see Fishman Island. There's as many skin tones as there are fish in the sea. What a cool way of putting it. There's as many skin tones as there are fish in the sea. I've always wanted to see a mermaid. I that's always everybody's first thought. I want to see a mermaid. No shame in that. They're a sight to behold. Mermaid Cove is more enticing than heaven itself. I mean, you know. Whoa! That said, flipping Sanji, man. My heart soars just as much when I see you giant ladies. Can't blame him. Oh, Sanji-kun, you're so silly. It's cute. Okay, they're enamored with my guy. Woohoo! Beauty's everywhere I look. I'm getting buried in babes. That's a crazy line. Buried in babes is crazy. So we have a fascination with the individuals in Elbaf who find Jinbei to be interesting because this is a rarity to them. This is very, very rare to the individuals of Elbaf. Based on what the Jarl is saying, most people don't make their way up here. So not just fishmen, not just individuals that are down on the blue sea, as they would call them in Skypiea. Most people that are not giants don't make their way up there. So them getting used to other cultures, other ways of life, must be extremely fascinating to them. And coming off of Wano, it's super interesting to see how open they are to this, right? And maybe we'll have to see how things develop later down the line and how those two ideologies are going to clash between like the ideology of the past warrior giants and like the current generation, and like we were talking about last stream, and how that's going to continue to clash. But it is interesting how open they are to accepting these concepts that are foreign to them. I just think it's so cool. So obviously they're excited by the mermaids, excited by the possibilities of Fishman Island. Sanji's. So, see, you know what, man? I can't blame him. I really can't. I felt the same way in the, what was it, the chapter before last chapter with Ripley. Trust me, I understand. And what are you? Broke. There's a flipping moving skeleton. And what are you? Oh my god. Yeah, classic Usopp, man. It's beautiful. Oars mentioned, bro. Oars mentioned. And what are you? Who, me? I can answer with my own blues. My what the heck am I? Ooh, a Gurren Lagann reference? I'll tell you who the Flagnards I am. You know what I'm saying? Gabriel Nozea comes in with a 10 and says, we've really come full circle. The Giants used to show off to the Straw Hats in the little garden. Now the Straw Hats are impressing the Giants with their own adventures. So true, Gabriel. So true. Like, from Little Garden to this point, we've seen so many things and done so many things that now we can show up here. And like we talk about with end of series Usopp and Kaya, and the lies being true, right? Whenever they have the opportunity to have that conversation, and he goes in and he delivers all of those quote unquote lies, and are actually like people. Their adventure was so insane. Straw's adventure was so insane. It feels like lies. It feels like a fable. It feels like a story to the individuals of the world. But we know it all to be true, right? And so to the individuals here on Elbaf, them hearing that we took out Oars, they've got to be like, holy fuck, that's what we did. We took out Oars. Now, granted, it was zombie Oars, but we did our thing. We did our thing, man. We didn't only took out Oars, we took out Oars and a Shichibukai at the same time. We did our thing, man. On a ghost island. A ghost ship. It's like you tell that to someone. They'll think you're not only you're capping, but they're gonna be like, yeah, you couldn't come up with a better lie than that. It ain't lies, baby. We are truthers. Like true roofers, man. We say nothing but the truth. I can answer with my own blues. Now what the heck am I? Diddy, yeah. No Diddies around here. I guess it's a big wide world out there. Let's toast to it. I love that line. Once again, they are accepting. They are accepting the ideologies of those that are on the outside. Like, yo, I guess it really is a big wide world out there. And I was wondering how we were going to differentiate Wano from Elbaf if they're both going to have these clash of ideologies between the past and the present. And what we have here are individuals who are clearly accepting to concepts and ideas from other places. It's a big wide world out there, things that we haven't seen before, and we accept them. It's great stuff. I'm surprised so many giants have never gone out to the sea. We have Nami and Zoro. Yeah, I kind of assumed they were all pirates. This flipping Flagnards, man. Roto. Yeah!
Nami Tasso, I want to apologize to you and this little straw hat before.
He ain't gonna be forgiven that easily, but beating a proper apology out of him was the least we could do. Gerd Tasso's statistics side really makes my heart flutter. I can't blame him. Don't sweat it. It's not like anyone died. Zoro's like, yo, F it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's only because Usopp stopped me. And he goes in for a drink. He's like, somebody would have died, but Usopp stopped me. If he didn't, it would have been your head. You let him know, bro. You let him... Roto shook. I love this panel of Zoro. I love the panel. It would have been your head. Roto shook. He's feeling the Conqueror's hockey. He falls back. Roto! Yeah. Don't tell me you picked a fight without checking their current bounties. Don't tell me you picked a fight without checking their current bounties. Don't tell me this is a bounty chapter, bro. Don't tell me this is a flipping bounty chapter. You never stood a chance. Roto is shook. Bro, are we getting new bounties? Don't hold back next time. Gerd is like, yo, take his head off next time, bro. Don't hold back. Gerd also. She's so harsh. I can't get enough. Come on, everyone. Born here on Elbaf shares the same dream. Everyone born here on Elbaf shares the same dream. To become the next sun god and rule the world. So everyone on Elbaf shares the dream of becoming the next Nika. That is fast. And to rule the world specifically. That is very interesting. Once again, another comparison to Wano, where a Kaido who clearly wanted to be Joy Boy, and also with the One Piece, / with Big Mom, would have dominated the world, and ruled the world and caused the biggest war the world had ever seen. And been at the helm of that, right? He would have ruled it with an iron fist. And so, what we have here is 2 arcs, where in one arc, obviously one wanted to be Joy Boy and rule the world. Whereas here we have individuals whose dream is to specifically become the sun god and rule the world. It feels like that dream is sort of bathed in the old ideology, isn't it? So I wonder if other individuals, specifically the generation that's coming up right now, do they also share this same dream? Or is this a dream of the past? Oh man, we're going to be exploring dreams in this arc too. That's exciting. So, everyone in Elbaf shares the same dream. Roto, we already know he was calling himself that at the beginning of the arc. But to know that everyone else also wishes to do that is so incredibly fascinating, because that just tells me, as a reader, that to set my expectations, that within this arc, we're going to see what dreams are to not only the people of Elbaf, but it's going to be Oda exploring more about dreams the same way he did in Skypiea and Jaya. Jaya and Skypiea was an exploration of the themes and concepts of dreams, right? Like, that is one of the reasons why Skypiea is so high on my favorite arcs list, because it explores one of my favorite aspects of One Piece, which is dreams. Specifically, Jaya really, really goes into the wonders and the beauties of dreams. And so, everyone here in Elbaf sharing that, them having a collective dream, is something I don't know if we've gotten yet, which is so interesting. So, of course, Zoro looks at the side as a sun god, having the context. Are you kidding me? The sun god isn't a ruler. That's right, he's the god of liberation. So, in the ancient texts that we saw in Wano, that Who's Who was speaking of, they referred to Nika as the warrior of liberation. As then, of course, we saw in chapter 1044, which is what the chapter was titled, the warrior of liberation. Right? Warriors. These legendary figures. Now we have Roto stating that the sun god was the god of liberation. Which tells me the warriors of the past viewed warriors and or the highest warrior, the greatest warrior, in a godlike type of place. You know what I'm saying? Which is extremely interesting. It also goes back into the Skypiea NL thing, where everybody viewed NL as a god, but us on the Blue Sea only knew him as a devil fruit user. He was no god. I mean, he was pretty good at his job, but he was definitely definitely no god. You know what I'm saying? So that is yet another really interesting. Yeah, I'm loving this. I'm really liking this chapter because it's setting up what we can expect thematically from so many of these things. More like destruction. So here we're having a sort of mesh of the two ideologies. Are you kidding me? The sun god isn't a ruler. That's right, he's the god of liberation. No, more like destruction. Calling him Beerus. You're wrong. everyone knows he was the god of laughter. So it's like a whole bunch of different... That's interesting. Laughter, that's definitely Gear 5. No question about that. Destruction, that's like another point of view. The god of liberation, interesting. So incredibly fascinating. It's getting rowdy. You know, Luffy doesn't care. What's this about a god? The sacred Harley texts? Harley race? The sacred Harley... Bro, I thought that said Marley. As an Attack on Titan fan, I was about to say the sacred Marley texts. What's going on? The sacred Harley texts have been passed down for generations in Elbaf. So I'm assuming these sacred Harley texts are similar to the things that were passed down from generation to generation within the families in Wano, as well as the families in Alabasta, right? Like the things that were passed down from the Void Century until now. Yo, Quack 2. You know what I'm saying? I think everything needs a new bounty chapter. I really do. I really do. Could be the language used in the poneglyphs? Ooh, the Harley texts being the language in the that is interesting. But they refer to it as the Harley texts. If that is true, Silvershot. Haven't passed over generations in Elbaf, the legends are written in an archaic language. So there have been countless interpretations. Ooh, you might be cooking there, Silvershot. It could be, because if it's an archaic language, it very well could be the poneglyphs. So why do they refer to it as the Harley texts? They must have known someone named Harley, or... Oh, you know what? It could be another thing exclusive to them, similar to how in Wano... how they refer to Rio hockey, right? In their own way. Or they have this certain verbiage for terms within Wano that was exclusive to them. The Harley texts to them is what poneglyphs are to us. That could be what it is. No one can say for sure which translation is accurate. Wait! We can cook with this! Ladies and gentlemen. So, remember how at the beginning of Elbaf, we were talking about, specifically in the afterthoughts, how it seemed like Oda was setting Elbaf up to be an arc based on creation. And I know this is, of course, based on my own headcanon, that I think down the line we're going to get a sort of... we talked about this when chapter 1126 or 27, whatever it was, came out. But that Elbaf would have a very specific flashback that would give us like our biggest insight, our biggest look into, what the world was like before the Void Century. And so I was like, maybe this is going to be the arc that's going to be based around a lot of creation elements. And so when we got those first couple of chapters in Elbaf, I was like, yo, we're cooking with this. I like what we're doing here, Oda. Now, what goes in with creation? Creation myths that have been passed down from generation to generation. And each time, the translations get changed with each and every generation. It happens with so many different creation texts, with so many different religious texts, with so many different things that get passed down from many, many years ago until now. So, if we can play around with those elements here, I think that would be a very, very interesting thing to explore within the world of One Piece. How translations for even poneglyphs, or for texts in regards to creation, or texts in regards to the Void Century, texts in regards to what the world was like all those years ago, how the translations have changed and differed throughout the years, and whether those translations have changed due to a lack of understanding or propaganda to keep certain things under control. That kind of stuff fascinates me. It really, really does. Instant Messenger Sama comes in with a 10 and says, man, I'm so interested in the origins of every single race in One Piece. It really makes you wonder how everything came to be. The One Piece Genesis into the Book of Devil Fruits. Dude, you know what's crazy, Instant Messenger Sama, is not only am I right there with you in regards to where everything came from, but I really do think when we go back to the Void Century, we're going to have like a Tower of Babel type-esque situation where that might even be how the world came to be where it is today, right? Where, of course, like in the Bible with the Tower of Babel, we had all of the whole bunch of different races and languages who came together within that tower, and they were all spread apart after that, right? And sending them to their own lands. And so it would be interesting in the world of One Piece if we saw like a whole bunch of different races like that as well, and maybe even the fruits, and then they get scattered all over the planet. Sort of like their own miniature pirate-esque adventure, and these individuals going on and trying to find them. There's a lot of room for very interesting things in regards to the origins of the races, the origins of the fruits, and things of that nature, and how they could intertwine with each other. It's extremely interesting stuff, Mr. Sama. But you're the one that caused all this, so Emu's the reason why the world is the way it is today. So, but just very interesting stuff, Emu. Very, very interesting stuff. Thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate you, Emu. No one can say for sure which translation is accurate, and this is the result. According to the Harley texts, the world has already been destroyed twice before. Twice? So someone destroyed it before Emu? And the name of sun god Nika is invoked after... What? Bro, what does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, man, dude, hold up. What does that mean? Bro! Because I thought he was talking about one. Like, obviously, the world was destroyed once, then put back together with what happened with Emu 800 years ago. We assume. But the world being destroyed twice before. And the name of... What does that mean, bro? What does that mean? Akash Panda comes in clutch. Akash Panda comes in with a 5 and says, the world was destroyed first 1,500 years ago. And then 800 years ago, and then 800 years ago. Lunarians and the other moon races descended from the moon 1,500 years ago. The calendar change from the age of heaven to the age of the sea circle reflects the Lunarian migration. They were the gods of the world after all. The city of Shandora being at its peak 1,100 years ago also matches the timeline. Shandians must have settled on Jaya 1,500 years ago, which is 200 years before the peak. Dude, my mind is probably blowing, bro. What in the world is going on in One Piece right now? So it's like, what are they trying to imply? So Akash Panda first destroyed 1,500 years ago. Then once again 800 years ago. But apparently the name of Nika invoked after each instance, which I'm going to assume, if what you're saying is true, first time being the actual Nika, the second time being Joy Boy. And Mr. Sama says with a 10, the third impact incoming. Yo, straight up. I didn't even think about that. Straight up Evangelion style, dude. Yes. With the first impact, the second impact, and the third impact. We gotta stop the third impact, dude. Nika. Who can say... Yo! Look at him! Who can say if he was the world's savior? Or the great destroyer who brought it crashing down? Or the great destroyer who brought it crashing down? All we know for sure is that he heralds great change. Oh, that's why That's why Vegapunk in his monologue said, we don't know who was on the side of good and evil. We don't know who was right and who was wrong. He couldn't tell. No one can tell. Oh, man. So, who can say if he was the world savior? Or the great destroyer who brought it crashing down? All we know for sure is that he heralds great change. Look at this panel. This looks like a panel from the ancient texts, bro. That's why the rulers of the day always tend to fear Nika's return. Yo, man. If that doesn't give you goosebumps, I don't know what will. I don't know what will, bro. Ancient carvings, Quag 2. The ancient texts. Bro, I love this panel. This has to be... Hold on, man. You're talking to someone who has the Nika 11s. You know what I'm saying? I have the Nika 11s. Look at my boy. You know what I'm saying? You're talking to someone who's rocking the sneakers. Like Mike. I could be like Mike. Like, I want to be like Nika, man. You know what I'm saying? Bro, look at that panel. That's the kind of panel that you put in the Da Vinci paintings. Those are the kind of panels you put in the Louvre. Oh my god, man. Dude, that thing looks so sick. That thing looks so sick, bro. Dude, I love this. It reminds me of Legend of Zelda. In Legend of Zelda, specifically on the walls, in Ocarina of Time, especially in Twilight Princess, Tears of the Kingdom, and Breath of the Wild did this too, where we'd have like these really beautiful within the dungeons. You would have like these really beautiful murals that would show like how the world was, and we would have these really cool murals that would show like Ganondorf. Well, Ganon technically, and they would have like these really cool murals on the wall that would look like these ancient paintings on the wall, and that's what this looks like. It looks like a cartoon that was drawn on a wall by someone like 5,000 years ago. And I don't know how Oda managed to capture that in this image. He even has like the Looney Tunes thing captured here with like the black outline and the circle in the middle, while at the same time the clouds in the background really make it feel like an ancient drawing. I don't know, man. This is one of my favorite panels already of the year. No question. Dude, look at the sword and the shield. It's the sun shield. The Gear 5 cloud. The Gear 5 hair. Come on, man. It looks so cool. Exactly. Link's Awakening Windfish Cave type drawing. Yes. Yes. Sword user. Mihawk stalks. Yo, watch out, Wes. Watch out, Wes. Akash Panda comes in membership for 12 months. Yo, a year, Akash Panda. It says, Nika's shield has the same sun symbol as the Kozuki crest. The cross in Kuma's church. Ooh, Alabasta's flag, Skypia's shields, and Nika Joy Boy connection between all those. Ooh, yo, Akash Panda, that's true. Oh, Oda's definitely cooking with that. Oda's definitely cooking with that. That is intentional. And if it wasn't intentional before, it's intentional now. It's intentional now. Brilliant. Thank you for reminding me of that. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Winston says something interesting. Nostro holds his sword like that, right? Is it an ancient sword technique? Oh, so like those in the past like hold their swords up like this, right? Maybe. Maybe, Winston. Maybe. It's the message Stomach with the 2 and says, Rocksteady's bet could never. Wait a minute. What do you mean by wait a minute? What do you mean by wait a minute? Don't try me like that, Emu. Don't try me like that. Whoa, hold up, man. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Hey, man, I don't know. I don't know, Emu. But you're the boss. You're the boss. You know what I'm saying? You're the boss. Let me read this one more time, man. Let me bring this up. I gotta do the narrator voice. Who can say if he was the world's savior, or the great destroyer who brought it crashing down? All we know for sure is that he heralds great change. That's why the rulers of the day always tend to fear Nika's return. Unreal, man. Nika. That's the guy Bonnie mentioned. Luffy. Like, yeah, that's the guy that Bonnie mentioned. Yes, the sun god's become a symbol, someone the hopeless and desperate turn to for salvation. They say Nika is adorned by white clouds, with white hair and white clothes to boot, and he is said to have a contagious booming laugh. Booming is a very interesting line there, considering, how Luffy's techniques are booming dawn or booming whatever. No wonder everyone's been saying I look similar, but I'm sure he's got nothing to do with me. Don't be so dismissive, Straw Hat. You'd understand if you were born on Elbaf. We all look up to Nika. Not to defend Roto, but he wasn't lying about us all sharing the same dream. Also, they're backing him up on that. They're backing him up on that. So first and foremost, I'm very interested with Oda's decision to stay firm with this. Luffy being like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that has nothing to do with me. He's been pretty consistent with that for quite some time, ever since this Joy Boy stuff really started coming into fruition in the rooftop chapters. And now confirmation from the rest of the Giants that yes, they do share that same dream as well. Loki was the same. I believe his motive for Harold's murder was his attempt to follow in Nika's footsteps. I beg your pardon? What does he mean by that? Nothing can justify what he did, Elder. So, Loki doing what he did was his attempt to follow in that dream. His own interpretation of that dream. The same way that the individuals on Elbaf, for all these generations, have had different interpretations of the ancient texts, of the Harley texts, depending on the translation. Up to interpretation. That this dream that they've all inherited from those of the past, looking up to Nika, can all be interpreted based on the individual, is yet another extremely interesting thing that we can explore within this arc. Loki being motivated because, or one of the motive for Harold's murder being drenched within his attempt to follow within this dream is so interesting to me. It's so interesting to me. Loki? So he's a good guy? Classic Luffy. No way in the Flag Nards. He's the accursed prince. I love the rainbow here in the background. And the way the village looks. I think the village looks really cool. There was a prophecy before Loki was born that foretold that King Harold would be slain by his son. A prophecy? There was a prophecy before Loki was born that foretold that King Harold would be slain by his son. Then shortly after his birth, the royal steed, the horse of fortune, died. So there was a prophecy before Loki was born that said that King Harold would be slain by his son. And then shortly after, the royal steed, known as the horse of fortune, died. That was the same year that Linlin, Big Mom, that Linlin murdered the legendary hero Yorl. And the tragedies kept coming. A year later, the queen herself passed on. The princeling. What is that thing in the middle? Bro, that looks like the Loki the Loki silhouette that we saw in Big Mom's flashback. The princeling. So this is Loki. This is the Loki silhouette from Big Mom's flashback. Why does his hands look like that? It looks like he has one of those like science gloves that you see in the movies. The princeling would go on to use his natural strength to make the realm of the dead his own personal playground. At that age, your Loki's built different. The princeling went over to the place that makes other people. This same chapter told us that the individuals of the world are scared. They are terrified from stepping foot within Elbaf because of the underground realm. The place that Loki is in charge of. You're telling me he dominated this thing at a young age? They call him a princeling. His natural strength to make the realm of the dead his own personal playground. He killed many of those ferocious beasts. Maggie and the ferocious beasts? Many of those ferocious beasts and tamed the rest. He even released a few into the villages. And that was all by the age of 10. By the age of 10, dude. Loki. He was an arsonist. He's doing the Luffy laugh. He's got his head. Bro, he's got the hand over the eyes and he's doing the belly laugh. No. He was an arsonist. Loki's mischief endangered countless lives. So we're going to see the literal manifestation of how you can interpret what Nika did back in the day through a Luffy in Gear 5 and what he brings to people, and what Loki did as his mischief endangered countless lives, as he also laughed while doing the same pose. Oh, this dynamic is gonna hit, man. It's gonna hit. He had the authority of a prince and a malicious personality. He caused hell whenever the king wasn't looking. And then finally, in that very castle, Loki killed King Harold, the greatest monarch that Elbaf ever knew. Man, that flashback's gonna hit, man. I already know the flashback's gonna hit, bro. A splendid wise man, Paul Heyman, who had tried to connect with the outside world, to get people to see beyond Elbaf's feared reputation as a land of warriors. And that's what we were learning about in the last few chapters. An individual who truly tried to connect with the outside world. Lord Jarl was stabbed trying to stop Loki, and we see that the blade is still there. My helmet saved me in the end. It didn't save anything. Loki's reign of terror finally came to an end 6 years ago. He was running amok at sea when red-haired captured him. Shanks? Shanks really came here? Loki's reign of terror finally came to an end 6 years ago, and he was running amok at sea when red-haired captured him. And look, bro, look at Luffy. Luffy immediately was like, Shanks? He's like me. Luffy's just like me. Luffy's just like me, man. He's just like me. Shanks? That's beautiful. Shanks really came here? Yeah, in fact, he was just here earlier. I'm not sure where he went. Dude. Is the Jarl referring to stabs? Or is he referring to Shanks? I'm not talking about the Shanks stopping Loki. I'm talking about stabs. In fact, he was just here earlier. I'm not sure where he went off to, though. When he's talking about earlier, is he talking about stabs? Is it already starting? Are we already starting this, man? Oh, God. Look at this Zoro panel. Zoro looks like he's extremely suspicious. What are you thinking about, Zoro? Why are you doing the dragon? The Monkey D. Dragon, bro. Why are you doing dots? So, hold on, man. I gotta look at this one more time. So, we go up to the corpse here with Harold. We even see some Conquerors hockey out here on the... Conquerors hockey? We see some Conquerors hockey right here on the bottom. Or what looks like Conquerors hockey. Right here on the bottom. Is that kind of like what happened with Luffy and Kaido then? Remember when Kaido knocked out Luffy and he was unconscious and his Conquerors hockey continued? Is that what's happening here with King Harold? Like post-mortem Conquerors hockey on some Hunter x Hunter stuff? That's interesting. We gotta come back to this panel. In the very castle, Loki killed King Harold, the greatest monarch Elbaf ever lived. Splendid wise men who tried to connect with the outside world to get people to see beyond Elbaf's feared reputation as land of warriors. But when we come back here, Loki's reign of terror finally came to an end 6 years ago. He was running amok at sea when Red Hair captured him. Oh, those are cracks from a painting. That is a portrait of Harold, and those are cracks. It's cracks in the portrait. Thank you. That's what it is. You know what it is, man? It's my need to hype characters up brain. And I was like, is that Conqueror's hockey coming out of that blade? No, it's cracks. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, yeah, Shanks was at Elbaf earlier fighting Kid. No, I'm well aware of that. But I wasn't aware of how earlier that is. But I guess to them here on Elbaf, that technically was like just recently. You know what I'm saying? It was like really, really recent. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess I was tripping. I guess I was tripping. Because I was thinking about maybe they saw stabs and him arriving here in the most recent 2 chapters. But no, you're absolutely right. They must have been referring to the Shanks and Kid situation. Because that technically was really recent for them. Because we came from Elbaf right here. So that was technically earlier for them. And if that time situation is true about what's been going on this island, then it's then for them that really was yesterday or today or earlier or whatever it is, right? So that makes sense. They really are just talking about Shanks then. But I'm wondering why Zoro is doing this then. Like why does he have this suspicion looking face? Village outskirts. We're going somewhere else? I thought you were acting weirdly on edge earlier. That explains it. You realize he's a reviled Kingslayer, right? Everything he told you was obviously just a lie. Zoro! I thought you were acting weirdly on edge earlier. That explains it. You realize he's a reviled Kingslayer, right? Everything he told you was obviously just a lie. He said he knew where Shanks was. Do you have any idea how badly I want to see him again? Me too, Luffy. I want to see him. I want to see you see him. I want to see y'all see each other. You know what I'm saying? Also, a captain in his first and in his right hand having a conversation here. I've heard it about 1,000 times. Sounds to me like he was using that trick to use you. Or he was using that to trick you. How would you know? You've never met Loki yourself. So Zoro was being... That's interesting, man. Very consistent with his character, obviously. But Luffy just outright told him about the Loki stuff. I haven't. I'm just guessing based on his reputation. I'll tell you everything I know. That includes that includes Red Hair's current whereabouts. If that was really a lie, I'm gonna send him flying, and we know Luffy will truly send him flying. Yo, he went Gear 4 just because he was talking trash about Shanks. There's no question he'll send him. Well, I mean, I don't know. Loki's built different. You know what I'm saying? Loki is built different, man. He's built different. So that is interesting. I thought whenever the sting came right here that we were gonna like flip somewhere else, but no, we're staying right here with Luffy and Zoro. So they immediately have payoff to that conversation, to that panel, and Luffy reveals everything to Zoro, which of course that's someone that he trusts a lot, and then obviously with how much that they've gone through, but it's just so on character, so on brand. If that was really a lie, I'm gonna send him flying. If you're sneaking off to do what I think you are, Nami. If you're sneaking off to do what I think you are, did you seriously expect to find your way there without me? Listen up, Luffy, we'll get the key. Where are they going? I love this smug panel of Nami, by the way. I really love it. Did you seriously expect to find your way there without me? Like, yeah, without your navigator? Like, come on, man. Listen up, Luffy, we'll get the key. But if he pulls anything funny, we'll have to take care of him. Got it. Thanks. So they head off onto the ship. Here we see Zeus. Here I think we see Luffy. So they're splitting up? But why is this guy here? Roto? He's my new slave. So now Nami, collecting them like Pokemon, has Roto and Zeus. I'm truly blessed. And Roto's just loving it. He's like, yo, first I had Gerd, and now I have Nami. Like, yo, we're happy. We're happy people. You know what I'm saying? I'm the happiest person on planet Earth, says Roto. Oh, man. So we have an OG squad right here. I'm assuming this is the squad of Luffy, Zoro, and Nami. Which is a beautiful combo, man. The OG trio. That's a really, really nice thing here. But I don't see any other character. I'm assuming it's just those three, though. Don't forget, I'm her number 1 slave and Sanji's number 2. Sanji's number 2. Sanji's number 2 is hilarious. Damn, foo. Strong girls really get my blood pumping. He's been struck by lightning, literally. Don't ever try to get close to me again. Namitasa, wasn't it neat how we're both navigators? Don't ever try to get close to me again. Yes, ma'am. It feels wrong for the guests of honor to bail so early. So it really is Luffy, Nami, and Zoro. She. Don't worry, I brought some meat. Have you tried this moose? They're all in a drunken stupor now. They probably can't remember what they're celebrating. Say, if all the treasure in the castle suddenly disappeared, would that be a problem, Roto? My vision is awful, so I'm sure I wouldn't even notice. You had this in mind since the beginning, didn't you, Nami? the belly eyes. Oh, this is great. This is great. I'm loving this combo of characters. Roto is going to be a great foil here with this is going to be fun. It's going to be a ton of fun. Classic One Piece comedy that will be at the forefront here with these characters. Do ga 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 ga. So that's what it is. Realm of the Dead. Do ga ha 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 ha. If I understood you correctly, then I'm afraid I'll have to step back and refuse your offer. I'm sure it's an honor to be... Oh, snap, it's Loki. I'm sure it's an honor to be invited to join your noble knights. Oh, stabs.
Hold up, man. Hold the flip on. I'm sure it's an honor to be invited to join your noble knights. But that would make you celestial dragons, right? Bro, it's them! And they're hooded! Do you really expect anyone on the planet to willingly become scum like that? So Loki's like, yo, why would I willingly become scum? Shit. Bro, look at Stabs, dude! And look, what happened again? What happened again, y'all? And y'all keep trying to tell me about Oda not y'all. I'm talking whenever I've attempted to have this thing debunked in my face about this whole Shanks and Stabs thing. Look at what Shanks or Stabs. Not Shanks. Stabs. Look at what's being hidden here on the panel. The other side of his face. Why? Because Oda doesn't want to reveal the truth. And the truth is going to set us free, baby. It's going to set us free. Intentionally hiding the other side of the face. He did it in 907. He did it the 1134. He did it last chapter, and he's doing it again. We're not seeing the other side of the face, man. Come on. He's hiding the left eye, baby. He's hiding the left eye. Do we have any intel? All the informants we sent to Elbaf reported a giant crow heading for them before the transmissions got cut off. Their weakness is beyond belief. Oh, we actually get a better look at her this time. And she's got the Yuna eyes from Final Fantasy X, where it's like 2 different colored eyes. I'm done just standing by and listening. This is the definition of impertinence. Oh, we have a full design here. It's a little bit too cold for you not to have pants on. No, it's just a wee bit too cold. A wee bit too cold for you not to have pants on, but I get it. I get it, man. Whoa! Joaquin! Joaquin! Joaquin just... So for anyone that is watching this on replay and can't look at the chat, Joaquin randomly out of nowhere, just gifted almost everyone in chat a membership. 100 memberships. Back to back to back. Dude. Holy sweet mother of Flagnards. Joaquin. Thank you. Yo, everyone, have your memberships on. Have your memberships on so that you can get a membership, man. Wow. I appreciate you, Joaquin. I think everyone in chat should be a member now. Wow. Bro, my stream can't even keep up. It's like slowly going up in new members right now. Dude, you're an animal, Joaquin. Thank you. Holy Flagnards. Wow. Wow. Yo, somebody bless Quag 2. Okay? Quag 2 is here every single week. Quag 2 needs a gifted membership. No question. Come on. Come on, Joaquin's... Well, what is it? Oh, no, Dan, that might be it. No. I'm sorry, Quag 2. Dang, that's unfortunate. But, dude, you are insane. Bro, everyone should have membership now. Everyone should legitimately have a membership now, dude. Joaquin, I don't know what to say. Godosei came in clutch today. Wow. Wow. Hopefully everybody has a membership now. Quag 2, I hope you got a membership. Dude, Joaquin, you are nuts. You are absolutely insane. Ian comes to membership for 8 months, says, let's go! Okay, back to the chapter. Unreal, Joaquin. Unreal. Thank you so much. Love you too, dog. Holy flagnards. So, Stabs asks, let's recollect ourselves. Stabs asks, do we have any intel? All the informants we sent to Elbaf reported a giant crow heading for them before the transmissions got cut off. Their weakness is beyond belief. I'm done just standing by and listening. This is the definition of impertinence. And we have the full design here of... Oh, here's the name. God's Knight Gunko. Gunko? Gunko? I'm going to say Gunko. Of Gunko. Are those... Look at the futuristic shoes. So... What? This... You know, low-key... no pun intended. Low-key, this design kind of reminds me of Soul Eater. Have you guys ever read Soul Eater? This design is very Soul Eater to me. From the hand to the way that the hood, the design, the legs, it all reminds me. It's very Soul Eater to me. Very, very Soul Eater to me. God's Knight Gunko. So here we have futuristic shoes. The arrow hands, which is so cool to me. So the bandage ability from last week. So the arrow hand is fascinating because remember, Instant Messenger Sama utilized the arrow to stab Cobra and Sabo. So what does that mean then? Because if Gunko has the arrow hand and Instant Messenger Sama has the arrow, yo, Imu, let me know. Let me know. Gunko? I don't know if we can I don't Alright, if y'all want me to call it Gunko, we'll call it Gunko. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want me to we can call it Gunko, alright? We can call it Gunko. If y'all want me to call it Gunko, we will call it Gunko. You know what I'm saying? We'll call it. We will call her Gunko. So, Gunko, here is, has the arrow. Going back into the Emu situation. So, Emu without Quake. Gunko. Okay, yeah, Gunko. Okay, so if that's how it's pronounced in Japanese, then okay. Well, we got it. You know what I'm saying? We got it. But on a serious note, all jokes aside, I am extremely fascinated to watch out Ocean Plan. I have to wonder how the arrow connects between Gunko and Emu. Because I feel like that has to be intentional. A Holy Knight, a God's Knight having an arrow ability, and Instant Messenger Sama utilizing the arrow to pierce through Cobra. That has to be intentional. So either the arrow is something that... This is going into maybe Emu has all these abilities and disperse these abilities to all these people. Emu was the one that gave all these abilities to them. I don't know, man. But the theories are going to be cooking. Now that it's confirmed to be an arrow. Anyways, I won't let it stand. Don't be hasty, Gunko. We see a big, humongous, flipping wolf dog. It looks cool. It looks like an Elden Ring creature, but it looks really cool. Actually, less Elden Ring. It looks like a monster from like Final Fantasy or something. I like the design a lot. Comes up behind Stabs and Gunko. Doga! Eat him up, wolf! So the wolf comes in. Hey, stay back if you want to keep breathing. The arrow comes out. Arrow comes in. Huh? Hey, Wolf! Points up to the sky like it's the JoJo opening. And the arrow... Bro, look! This is just like what Emu did! Is that, of course, Emu's arrow went directly through and pierced. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. Regardless, goes in, chokes the wolf. Wolf! And it's being held up in the air. If we were to spare him, would you change your mind then? So that's how you operate, huh? Well, if that was your offer, I'd accept my friend's fate and wish him peace in death. It's okay to grieve and rage, but a warrior never kicks and screams in the face of death. Low-key, that was raw. Low-key, high-key, that was raw. It's okay to grieve and rage, but a warrior never kicks and screams in the face of death. Dude, that is epic, man. That is so epic. I'd accept my friend's fate and wish him peace in death. It's okay to grieve and rage, but a warrior never kicks and screams in the face of death. Like, yo, Loki! Loki! Come on, man! I'll swallow all my fury and use it to fuel me when I reduce this world to rubble. Man, yo! I mean, I don't want you to do all that, Loki, but man! Talk about a fantastic declaration, and what a showing! In front of both Stabs and Gunko, he is not in a good position here. He is before two Holy Knights, which are very, very powerful. And he's just having the time of his life. He's showing off his warrior pride. That he's a part of that generation. And of course, going back to... Man, I don't even know where to begin with this chapter. I'll swallow my fury and use it to fuel me when I reduce this world to rubble. Like, dude. As the wolf gets choked out, KYT. Come on, man. Loki's a man of integrity and aura. And you know something? So, Archie RM is bringing up something I want to talk about right now. So, Archie RM says, Loki's a man of integrity and aura. Elbaf lied. Elbaf lied about this, right? What is something else they potentially could be lying about? There's no guarantee. There is no... After this chapter, after the Vegapunk speech, I'm so curious on how the Nika of the stories matches up to the actual Nika in Legend. Because now I'm so curious as to how many things were lost in translation. Because what about if the Nika thing and the Loki thing, we know One Piece is all about misinformation. Information that gets spread and is always missing one key part of the story. Right? So if that's been the way for each and every single thing in the series, and the way they talked about the Nika stuff here, and the way they're obviously shining on the Loki stuff, it's like, what are we going to be cooking when we actually get to see the Nika flashback? And we see how the character actually was? Something that was really, really interesting to me in this chapter is both within Loki and the Nika panel, we saw them both with like the blacked out silhouette, and they were doing the stuff we know Joy Boy / Nika to do. You know, one doing the run, and Loki doing the Gear 5 laugh. And it's like, that dynamic is so incredibly fascinating to me. It's so interesting to me. But what are we cooking there in regards to the way that both characters have been, like, maybe misrepresented within not just their people, but within the stories that were told of them? I'm interested in exploring that. I really, really am. Loki continues to be an excellent, excellent, excellent addition to this cast, man. So, quick recap here. Obviously, long chapter, a lot of fun. Starting off, obviously, with the Ors mention and the craziness there. But a lot of lore, a lot of very important information, a lot of great comedy. But it's very interesting with like the Harley texts that have been in the archaic language. Very well could be the poneglyphs. this amazing. This is my panel of the chapter right here with Nika and those like from the cave. It just looks so cool. But very interesting stuff, and what they could potentially be doing thematically with this. The Loki panel right here is so good. It's so good, man. When he's doing the Gear 5 pose, it's so good. The Herald and everything here. And then obviously we have the Zoro and Luffy moment, which I thought was very in line with the characters. And now we have the OG trio in Roto. Luffy, Nami, and Zoro heading off. That's going to be such a fun combo here with Roto. I cannot wait to see where that ends up going with those characters. But then obviously a huge key important part here was with Gunko, Stabs, and Loki. And they wanted him to become a Holy Knight, which is so interesting. So I'm very, very interested by this opening line. And I actually want to start off our post-discussion about this chapter with this line here. Loki says, "I'm sure it's an honor to be invited to join your noble knights. But that would make you celestial dragons, right?" So Stabs asked Loki, I'm assuming, that we will free you, but in exchange you have to join the Holy Knights. So they obviously respect Loki for his strength. If not, they wouldn't come over here asking to join the Holy Knights. But what this tells us is that the Holy Knights are individuals who... You don't have to be a born celestial dragon to join the Holy Knights. Individuals can become Holy Knights, or I'm sorry, they can become celestial dragons by getting invited into and joining the Holy Knights. So the Holy Knights can be comprised of individuals who are all over the world. So like Stabs or Gunko or whoever goes in and recruits individuals from all over the planet and makes them become Holy Knights. That is something that we did not know. And I think is really interesting. Because my assumption was that the Holy Knights were all born and bred celestial dragons that came from the Holy Land, are all have celestial dragon blood, and because of that can serve within the Holy Knights. But what this chapter tells us is that you can be invited to join the Holy Knights even if you're not a celestial dragon, and that turns you into a celestial dragon. That is extremely interesting. True Roofers coming in for a fantastic chapter. Coming in for a really fun chapter. True Roofers never misses. True Roofers never misses. Appreciate you, True Roofers. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. So from up here, no. Spencer comes in with a 2 and says, Herald's sword is the one in the Jarl's hand. That's what it is. Thank you for pointing that out, Spencer. I appreciate you. Thank you for pointing that out. The Herald's sword is the one in Jarl's head. It was the hype in the moment. That didn't click for me. I appreciate you, Spencer. Thank you so much for that. Then Muzzy Mancunian comes in with a 10 and says, I need a Barclays Men moment in Elbaf. Barclays Men. It's probably going to happen, honestly. We're probably not too... Well, you know what? I'm going to say like halfway, maybe like towards the end of the arc. We get the Barclays Men moment in Elbaf. Marco Cardillo comes in with a 2 and says she is the Celestial Dragon version of Koala. Yeah, you know what? With the short hair... Definitely reminiscent of Koala. You're right about that. I do love the dual-colored eyes and the hat. It's reminds me of Yuna, like I said. Yuna and who am I thinking of that has that similar type of hat? I'm thinking of that warden from Dead Man Wonderland, Machina. Thank you, Marco Cardillo. I appreciate you. I read the Ian Joaquin, man. I'm looking through this thing. You're insane, dude. Let me read this to y'all. In this stream, we've made 170 new members. 170 new members, and I have 145 concurrent viewers. I'm assuming that means we had more viewers earlier. But 170 new members. and 145 concurrent viewers. I don't know if y'all can register how insane that is. That is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Ocular God comes in with a 40 and says, bro must be DJ Khaled. He said another one. No, that's truly what Joaquin said. She was just like, yo, another one. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And then Alejandro Solis comes in with a 2. Thank you, Ocular God. Alejandro Solis then comes in with a 2 and says, I crawl so Coach can pull an SSR Gunko alternate outfit. Hey, listen, when they bring the Holy Knights and that dual unit comes out with Stabs and Gunko, we'll be there no matter what for Treasure Cruise. We will be there no matter what. I can't get over this arrow thing. I'm endlessly fascinated because we've talked at length about the potential possibilities of Instant Messenger Sama and the Gorosei. The Gorosei potentially being extensions of Instant Messenger Sama and his abilities, right? Going back to even the Garcia Saturn execution chapter, and how he was able to just like execute him in that way, and we still don't have an answer for that. And thinking about how throughout the course of the arc, as well as back in chapter 1085, back in Egghead, we were thinking about Emu and his abilities, and how it could be like the 5 pieces of Exodia situation. And now when you bring the Holy Knights into effect, and the very first Holy Knight that we see has this arrow technique, the only arrows we've seen like it are the ones that stabbed Cobra and flipping Sabo. It's like, man, what are we cooking here? You know what I'm saying? Like, does Emu give them the abilities, right? Like, where Emu has the ability, but at the same time gives them and bestows abilities upon them? That would go in line with like the godlike thing that they're trying to present with Emu, honestly. So many interesting things with this chapter. I'm gonna, when the Viz translation comes out, I'm looking forward to comparing the true translations, because I'm so interested on a couple things. Number one, that whole Harley Tech situation, as well as the Nika section. I'm interested on analyzing that in both translations, as well as the final few lines with Loki, because I feel like we got a lot of good characterization with Loki there at the very end. Akash Panda comes in with a 2 and says, what if Emu is greater than 1500 years old and has defeated 2 Joy Boys? So, Akash Panda, you're telling me that Emu, in one generation, and then in another generation, defeated both Joy Boys? And he's trying to do it again now? Dang. Yo, man. Oh no, Akash Panda. That's like I'm a little speechless, because I never thought about that scenario. Like, obviously, the way that I was thinking about it was that Emu came into power specifically because he overthrew Joy Boy, the second Joy Boy. So now I'm so curious as to if you're right about this. So then, Instant Messenger Sama, the Emu, the 3P will be wild, for real, blue blah. Instant Messenger Sama comes in with a 20. Well, you can answer this for us, Emu, since you're here. I wonder who the antagonist was in Joy Boy's timeline. Whoever it was, he must be older than Emu. I also don't think that Sebek is dead, like Sengoku made it out to be. That dude was always cutting corners. So, Rox, like you were talking about earlier in the chapter, and that's another character that's been misrepresented, right, through the misinformation in the series. So I'm assuming, actually I don't have to assume, I know that Rox was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Just based on the way the world sees Roger as this great villain, Rox, for me, just feels like he's going to be super awesome dude. I mean, the man led Kaido, Big Mom, and Whitebeard. He had to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of character and personality, I think he is going to be like a genuinely good dude. Or he's just going to be like a buggy and have like a really trollish thing. But regardless, I think that that's similar to like the Loki and the Nika stuff. That misinformation thing has been so prevalent throughout the course of the entire story in One Piece that it's interesting to think about. But the antagonist in Joy Boy's timeline, right? Pre Emu, or like Akash Panda says, maybe Emu's greater than 1,500 years old, and has always been the antagonist for the Joy Boys. But if that wasn't the case, then who was, right? Then who was? Yeah. I can't get over this flipping Emu being older than 1,500 years old, because I've never thought about that. Because like in my brain right now, I'm like trying to piece together the Emu information, the Nika information, the flipping everything we've got throughout the course of the entire series, man. It's like, man, I don't know, bro. The world has been destroyed twice. That's the biggest takeaway of this entire chapter, is that the world has been destroyed twice before, man. And at the center of it both times was Nika. So it's like, I mean, what is Oda cooking, dude? What is that brother cooking, man? So fast. Thank you, Emu, and thank you, Akash Panda, for the thing. I'm at a loss for words. KB Waterboy24 says, Gunko hit the shambles with her fingers. Oh, yeah, she did. With like, oh, yeah, you're right. That was cool. And what's up with her eyes? Inverted like yin and yang? Maybe Emu related. I'm very interested with the eyes thing. Number one, knowing that Oda loves Final Fantasy, right? And just like I said, thinking back to the Yuna thing, how interesting that's going to be. And knowing, like I said, in the early stages of One Piece, I've talked about it so many times, but I might as well bring it up again. In the early stages of One Piece, I know he must have been like, I mean, it wasn't me that said it, Oda said it. He was really into playing Final Fantasy, so, and obviously Elbaf is calling back to a lot of the beginning stages of the series, things he's thought about for so many years. That it is very interesting, right, to think about what he could be cooking here with Gunko just in general. Obviously, the very first two Holy Knights, we have a Shanks lookalike and another character, and a character that's wielding a similar ability that we've seen before in the past. So both of them are filled with a lot of mysteries. But I think what's really interesting about Gunko, in terms of her overall design, is that with the futuristic boots that remind you so much of Egghead, the design, honestly, the entire design reminds me of Egghead. Gunko's entire design reminds me of Egghead whenever I look at her. When I see the futuristic clothing, when I see the no pants, right, similar to like how Nami and Robin were in Egghead, as well as the futuristic shoes, it really does remind me of Egghead. And so then whenever you bring in the dual-colored eyes, as well as this emu-like ability, she's just filled with so much mystery. I can't help but just be drawn to conceptualize what we could be cooking here with both of these characters. Because obviously, because I'm such a massive Shanks fan, I've been focusing on stabs since that chapter dropped at 1134, and on what could potentially happen, right, with this character and with everything. That's why in this chapter I was the one that was confused with the Shanks and Kid stuff with the stab stuff and what they were talking about in this chapter. But that's because I'm so excited to see the repercussions and the consequences of stabs showing up here and what it's going to do for the overall narrative of Elbaf. But I think in this final section and with last week's chapter, Gunko got her own levels of mystery that make me want to find out more about this character, specifically because of the visual clues that are being given to us. Clones. Alejandro Solas very well be the case, right? Both of them being clones. She reminds me of the Egghead and Peldon outfits. Yeah, great point. Her design is very old school militaristic, though. Yeah, that's a good point with the hat, and because honestly, KNY2, whenever I saw her design in right now in the read through, like I was just talking about with you guys, it reminded me of Warden. What was her name? Machina from Dead Man Wonderland, where she was the warden of the thing, and she had like an old school militaristic outfit with the hat and the uniform. And you're absolutely right about that. She does have like an old school uniform-esque design to it as well. You're definitely right about that, especially with the hat. The hat is truly what makes it. I heard her name can mean military child or war drums. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Steampunk egghead. That's a good way of putting it, Quack, too. Do you think Loki might be good, but Harold is misguided? Maybe Harold was a Nika candidate that was too peaceful and snuffed out the dreams to be a warrior within Elbaf. Brandon King, yeah, we've been discussing this. Like, I definitely do believe that they are misrepresenting Loki in many different ways. And we're going to see that whenever we get his flashback. So I'm going to say yes. I think on both sides, obviously. I think King Harold, obviously, we know he has good intentions. But we're going to see that even good intentions can have consequences, as we've seen throughout the course of the story. And I do definitely believe, especially with the end of the chapter, Loki just he just feels like a man filled with so much, like a man filled with integrity, a man filled with so much pride. It's just, we need that flashback for the full picture, Brandon King. We really do. We really do. Maybe the first Joy Boy defeated Emu. Emu beat the second Joy Boy. Okay, so the first Joy Boy defeated Emu. Emu beat the second Joy Boy, and now Luffy will have to beat Emu again, but this time for good. Very well could be the case, Akash Panda. So the first time around, it was Nika that destroyed the world, defeating Emu. And the second time around, Emu destroyed the world, beating the second Joy Boy. But now the last time, Luffy will have to save the world, beating Emu. Let me go ahead and translate this. One of these days, we'll be able to translate this thing without the need for Google Translate. Just as Big Mom wants to marry Laura to gain ultimate access, the Tenryubito wants Loki and his powers. Zoro is ready to draw his sword, and Luffy uses Gear 5 to approach the Knights of God. So, number one, and the next time Luffy uses Gear 5 in this arc is going to be pinnacle. Especially with all of this that we're cooking here, I cannot wait for that. Zoro obviously super excited for what's about to happen at any point with him in this arc. He's already on edge, as we've seen. Now with the Big Mom stuff and the Tenryubito wanting Loki and his powers, you bringing that up makes me remember that, yes, Loki does have an extremely valuable and legendary fruit, and we still don't know what that is. And so the Holy Knights must value that as well. I didn't think of that. I wonder what it is. Thank you, my friend. I completely forgot about that plot point, yeah. Oh, her name is Military Child? Lola, yes, that's what I mean. Lola, thank you. Instead, not Laura, Lola. Yeah, there's a lot of mystery, but I want to see good intentions have negative consequences. Me too, Brandon King. Because that's real life, right? In real life, good intentions, in many occasions, can have negative consequences. And we've seen that throughout the course of the story. I mean, one of the most iconic moments, Luffy versus Usopp, was born from good intentions. And it had negative consequences. I think Oda's building to Luffy using Gear 5 for the first time from the Giant specifically. It's odd he hasn't used it yet. Yeah. He's definitely building it up. He's definitely building it up for to use it in front of this crowd. Absolutely. Yo, what's good, Aaron Epsch? It's good to see you, yo. Yeah, man. I'm fascinated. I think before we wrap up the stream, man, we've been going on for almost 3 hours, bro. I didn't even notice. It's like you're having a good time. But I'm endlessly fascinated by well, before I get back to my train of thought, Isamestro Sama comes in with a 10 and says, it's weird to me that Zebek had this big dream, but never really took his chance to make it a reality. A man of his caliber should be feared all over the world, and yet almost nobody knows him. Yeah, you know something, Isamestro Sama, that is so true, right? Like, almost no one remembers Rocks, but, and yet those who remember him value him so highly. But Zebek did have like a massive dream, and we know that he was on the like he was doing what needed to be done in order to attempt to achieve it. We know this. My boy Carl, the gifted memberships just continue. Shout out to my boy Carl. So my boy Carl, aka CJ Battles, comes in and gifts 5 memberships to the channel. That is the good brother right now, man. Carl, you know I have nothing but love for you, bro. Comes in and gifts 5 memberships. Brandon King, Blue Blah, Save Money, Kaiji, and Quija No Reeves. Getting some memberships. Appreciate you, Carl, man. Thank you so much for that, bro. Thank you so much. But Instant Mestre Sama comes in and asks a very interesting question. So I know you've been talking about Rocks at multiple different points within this stream, and I just find it to be so interesting because every time you bring him up, it's yet again another situation, like you said, of a character that has been built up with this legendary status, but something is missing. Like, something doesn't make sense. Like, you're absolutely right. How did someone of such great caliber, how did someone who's valued so highly, how did someone with such great dreams and ambitions be lost to time in the way that he was, right? And, like, literally lost to time. Almost as if he never existed to begin with. As if he himself were a victim of, like, a Lucia incident. What happened with Rocks? I don't know, Mr. Sama. I truly don't. I truly don't.
Miss says the Ravages of Time is based on Three Kingdoms era, just like the Dynasty Warriors, and it's just as hype as Kingdom with the top 2 casts. Best way I can describe it is Vagabond plus Kingdom. Now, you saying that, Miss, is going to make me read Ravages of Time. Because I'm telling you, so just in case anyone's joining us here and wasn't here for the beginning of the stream, there will be Dynasty Warriors tomorrow night. I'm going to be playing it first time. Super, super excited to play that. And obviously, since that's going to leave us in the mood for some Kingdom, then on Sunday we'll be here for some Kingdom greatness. Both will be at around the same time that I normally do these streams. I think Kingdom will be a little earlier, so that'll probably be around like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Kingdom tomorrow night, or I'm sorry, Dynasty Warriors tomorrow night, because I am going to be coming home from work. Will more than likely be around like 10 o'clock, I'm assuming. We'll stream the beginning of the game, and we'll head out. I'm still not sure. Maybe a little earlier. We'll have to see. But Kingdom, I want to be here for a good amount of chapters, so we'll probably try to start maybe around this time. We'll see what happens. So Quag2 says, Coach, as a fellow Jaya enthusiast, what do you hope Luffy, Zoro, and Nami will get up to while they're together? That's a great question, Quag2. So I think what I'm hoping for, so I have 2 answers for this. As a fan of the series, I'm really hoping that we get nothing but fantastic dynamics, just like we got in this chapter with Rodo and Nami, but with Luffy, Zoro, and Nami. As the OG trio, all I want is comedic and stuff and shenanigans and chaos with those 3. Luffy and Zoro trying to, bash their way through something, and Nami's like, hold up. Like Nami playing the straight man to Luffy and Zoro, or Luffy and Nami trolling and Zoro playing the straight man. That's what I need in my life as a fan. Right? Like as a fan of those 3 and their dynamic and that trio, that's what I need is just fun interactions between those 3 characters. But I think in terms of the overall narrative and what I want to see from the 3, I'm interested on how... So for all 3 characters, I guess we'll break them down one by one. Starting off with Nami. I want to see, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we run into an enemy and or a drastic situation with these 3 characters, and they're placed into a scenario where they have to deal with something, right? Nami now has Zeus and Rodo here, and her being placed in a situation where, similar to what happened with the Alice in Wonderland cat, except now she's going to be here with Zeus and a Rodo. It would be interesting to see how that plays out, both obviously from a comedic standpoint, but also from a storytelling standpoint, and how she would have to take control in a situation like that, considering there is no Usopp to be here with her this time, right? Like most of the time in these arcs, her and Usopp will play the funny duo, but ultimately she takes care of business at the end. But now it's just going to be her, Luffy, and Zoro. So in the midst of that, we're going to see Nami have to come into her own within a situation like that, playing, as she said within this chapter, the role of the navigator that has to get them from point A to point B. So that Luffy and Zoro don't get lost, she will have to continue to play mother role, attempting to make sure that they stay on track, right? So if they run into a situation or a big problem, Nami's role is going to be extremely compelling because of that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what ends up happening there, especially with Rodo and Zeus and how that ends up playing out there. For Luffy and Zoro, though, now that we just got all the Nika stuff, I'm assuming that we're getting that out of the way right now for whatever's to come. So let's just say we run into something very drastic coming in here where we have to fight an enemy and or we get lost in a maze or we run into some or some murals that show like some ancient text. Whatever ends up happening on the way to where they're going, I think whatever we see is going to be key for these 3 characters specifically because of the roles and the interactions that they've had throughout all of these years and the relationship they've had for all of this time within the manga. Which means I can see a situation coming in soon where not necessarily that their loyalty gets tested, but that we see something placed at the forefront where they have to make a decision, similar to Water 7 and his lobby, where these 3 as the heads of the Straw Hat crew have to make like a very drastic decision. And because it's the 3 heads,
Nami will have a say in it, Luffy will have a say in it, and Zoro will have a say in it. I'm not saying they're going to be arguing or anything, but it would be interesting to explore that, right? Like, as the three heads of the crew, a drastic decision having to be made in a split second. Luffy having to play the role of that captain, but knowing how Zoro was in this chapter, and knowing how Nami can get as well, it would be interesting to see that type of thing happening, especially since we're so close to the end of the series. I feel like we need one last, maybe not need, but we may see one last, not straw hat separation or thing that breaks the crew apart, but one last test for the crew in terms of their loyalty, their willingness to see these dreams to the end, as well as their willingness to see them on this journey together to the end, before they go out and accomplish their dreams, and before they go to Laugh Tale to find the One Piece. One final major thing that stands within the crew itself, actual crew, like something within the crew that won't be fixed and or won't be fully resolved until the end of the arc, which is why we're getting the Robin stuff out of the way here at the beginning of the arc, as well as the party here at the beginning of the arc, because some drastic stuff's about to happen here very, very soon. So my long-term answer, or my long-winded answer for this Quag 2 is, as a fan, I really want to see the interactions between the three characters, and how much fun that can be. But specifically because of the roles they play within the story, I want to know how Oda's going to play around with these three characters in regards to their final potential adventure together with just these three before the series comes to a close. Something's got to test them, just like it did in Jaya, just like it did at the beginning of the series. When it's these three characters, something always tests them. Whether it's the loyalty, whether it's in the heat of the moment, whether it's their characters, their weaknesses, something always tests them. That either puts them against each other or forces them three against everyone else. And I'm wondering when that's going to be in Elbaf. Especially now with a Roto here and a Zeus here. How does that play out? But I'm excited. I apologize for the for the long-winded answer there, but it's exciting stuff because obviously I love these three characters so much, and thematically, obviously, right, we're gonna get some really cool stuff with the three. We're already building up to some of that with what we've been getting so far, but I just think in general we're in for something really, really cool here in regards to the relationship. The relationship between the Straw Hat crew is something that's always when One Piece is at its best. When the Straw Hat crew is being tested, like we look back at the fondest moments right throughout the course of the entire journey, and it's whenever the Straw Hat crew is at the forefront, and whether it's the Help Me scene with Nami, or the I Want to Live with Robin, and the walk to both Arlong Park and walk to Ending's lobby, the Nakama scene in Alabasta, that stuff in Giant Skypiea. Looking at the separation of the Straw Hats back in Sabaody, in Through the Bark, whenever it was all of them in a tag team match against Oars and Gecko Moria, in Marineford and post Marineford, whenever all the Straw Hats were grieving for Ace alongside Luffy, and then Luffy realized that he still has all his Nakama, right, and he hasn't lost everything. And then getting them all back together and return to Sabaody. And of course, we got all those moments here in the time skip as well. From Dressrosa to Whole Cake, which is a mainly Straw-centric arc. And all the moments in Wano with Luffy will become the king of the pirates. And it's like you look back at the series' strongest moments, and it is when the Straws are being tested. And when it comes to this OG trio, or the heads of the crew, since we're about to enter Laugh Tale, this is going to be the last time for us to be tested before we get our biggest test, which is Blackbeard and Buggy and Shanks and Emu and Akainu and flipping Holy Knights. You know what I'm saying? So we need to go into that prepared. We need to go into that prepared that if we don't come out of it on the other side, we'll be all right. That the Straw Hat crew are going to still remain together through thick and thin. And we know that stuff is building with Usopp right now. And that Usopp coming out of this arc, greatness is incoming, man. Greatness is incoming. Already seen it with the Robin stuff. We're going to continue to see it with the Usopp stuff. And if we continue down this road with the Luffy, Nika, Joy Boy stuff, and his own individuality at the forefront, we got something cooking, man. We got something cooking, bro. I would recommend reading the first chapter of ROT whenever you want it. It gives you a really good idea of the type of series it has and its themes. Yeah, I'll definitely have to read that first chapter, man. And I'll let you know, too, how the experience is going. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for me today. We're almost brought to the 3-hour mark. This was a very, very fun chapter to discuss, a very fun chapter to think about. Appreciate you, Quack, too. It says, I was seated. Awesome answer, Coach. There's a strong chance Zoro and Nami will be the witness of Luffy's first encounter with Stabs. It might be an all-timer moment. I didn't even bring up the Stabs stuff. You're right. And yes, actually, now that you say that, you're right. Like, them two being there for Luffy in that moment. Yes. Oh, my God. Quack 2. Yes. 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 Zoro and Nami being there for Luffy. And what's bound to be, oh my God, him coming face to face with Stabs, thinking it's Shanks, then of course not thinking it's Shanks anymore. The whirlwind of emotions. Oh man, yes. Oh, I need that so bad, dude. Oh man, I need that so bad. The two crew members who have been with him longer than anyone, knowing how much he loves Shanks. Oh man. You're cooking with that, Quack, dude. You're cooking. You're cooking. You are cooking. We are cooking. Where do we stand on Daruma? Kosh Panda, I'll tell you this. Similar with Ravages of Time, I will definitely read chapter 1 at some point here in the future. So at some point here in the near future, I will at the very least read chapter 1 for both Ravages of Time and for Iruma. I will certainly do so. Go Slash, yo, it's good to see you. Instant Message Song with a 5 and says, off topic, I wonder when we meet Gin again. When we will meet Gin again. It has been a long time since the Brautier arc happened. I know we saw Gin during the Vegapunk message. But after that, I'm going to assume Final Saga. I'm going to assume we're going to see him at some point within that final stretch. You know, in Laugh Tale, whenever the whole world gets turned upside down and during the final war. I'm assuming then we'll see Gin. I'm not sure if Gin will see the Straw Hats. Maybe that'll be saved for like super end of series, but potentially. But yeah, that'll be it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, next week, or I don't know what next week we'll have in store. But tomorrow, Dynasty Warriors, either here or on Twitch, and I'll make sure to let y'all know in the Discord. Make sure to join the Discord for an update on that, on where the Dynasty Warriors stream will be. And then Sunday, we'll be here for some kingdom flipping greatness, man. All love to y'all. Very excited once again, to read this chapter in the Viz. And based on that information, I feel like we've already discussed what we needed to discuss for this week's chapter. But if I feel like the Viz translation brings up something else for us to discuss, then I will do an afterthoughts as well. We'll see how that goes, because there is a lot to think about. There's a lot to think about. And I'm so excited for Loki's character. Loki genuinely has so much potential as a favorite. Oh, and we reached the goal in this week's stream, so at some point in the near future, whether it be next week or during like a One Piece break week, we will be doing our top 10 favorite One Piece characters of all time. It's going to be super difficult, but I can't wait to discuss my favorite characters in the series with all of you, so that way we can all have a time capsule of our favorite characters as of 2025 within this series. So I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. This has been a 3-hour reaction. Again, feels like the Elbaf reactions are all 3 hours. But I will see y'all next time for some more greatness. I can't help it, man. The series is too good. It's too good. All love to y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. And we'll be back for some greatness very, very